Good evening and welcome to the Port Clinton City Council regular meeting of August 13th, 2019. Please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and taking a moment of silence for our military, veterans, and first responders.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Gabe Velo,
Here.
Joel Friedman,
Present.
Beth Gilman, here. Roseanne Hickman,
Present.
Brian Hill,
Here.
Margaret Phillips, present. Lisa Sardi, present.
Council, you had no meeting minutes for approval this evening. The chair notes that certification has been received regarding the compliance with the rules and notification of this meeting. This evening, we have no guest presentation, and we also had no public comment this evening. And we'll move to the mayor's report.
Moving right along. Thank you very much, Madam President. I'd like to report that last week I had the opportunity to meet and participate in the Camp Perry Executive Steering Committee. Out at Camp Perry, it involved a variety of military leaders from Camp Perry as well as the state level, including the Adjutant General for the National Guard, which was interesting to meet him. CMP representatives, myself, county and state elected officials, as well as folks from the Ottawa County Visitors Bureau. We talked about the base facilities and some improvements that have been made out there, and they encouraged us as a group to go out and visit. So I will try to coordinate a date and time where we can go out and take a look at what is new and exciting at Camp Perry. There was also a great deal of discussion about the national matches and the changes that are occurring over the next several years with the National Rifle Association pulling out of Camp Perry, moving their events over to northern Indiana. CMP is going to fill the void, expanding some of their events, other activities to take place. One thing I hadn't considered, and maybe many of you that don't participate, like myself, in shooting sports, if you do participate in shooting sports in the world, Camp Perry is kind of the Augusta, Georgia. I use that example for most people, either golfer or no golfers. If you shoot at Camp Perry, it's like playing around at Augusta. It's a big deal for a lot of people, and they're trying to make that facility represent what they feel it should be. So it's neat to hear all the new things that are happening out there, both on the range and off. So hopefully we'll have that opportunity here shortly. This weekend is the third annual Port Clinton Lighthouse and Maritime Festival. It's Saturday from 10:30 to 5 at the Lighthouse in Waterworks Park. I'll have the honor of introducing the guest speaker, Marcy Capter. So I encourage you to stop down for that. Likewise, I'm also, for whatever reason, a judge for the art show. So that should be, yeah, that should be fun. Everyone knows, but it's worth noting that the Rock the Light Music Festival is September 6th and 7th. Tickets are still available at the Chamber of Commerce and Great Lakes Popcorn. So make sure you get those. 2 nights, 8 performers, lots of food. You can talk about Jeep Delight? Sure. There's an event coming that he'll talk about along with that, Jeep Delight. Next Monday afternoon, meeting with Senator Teresa Gavarone, our state senator. She's going to be touring the Customs and Border Protection office in Portage Township. Met with her several weeks ago, almost a month and a half ago now, with mayors from throughout Ottawa County, and she asked to visit our area and show a point of interest. And I know the Customs and Border Office is outside the city limits, but it was something that she specifically had an interest in taking a look at. So I'm looking forward to meeting her again and getting a tour of that facility one more time. One of the biggest questions I've been asked by a lot of folks is what's going on with the DORA? City Council was kind enough to pass that at our last meeting. The next step in that process is going on right now. The Main Street folks who will be the administrators of the DORA project in the downtown area have submitted their paperwork to the Ohio Department of Liquor Control. It takes several weeks for them to review. There may be some revisions that need to be made with the paperwork that's sent down, typically no. But that is also an outside possibility. Signs have been ordered, cups have been ordered, the materials, the printed materials that go into the various establishments that are going to participate have been ordered. Once the liquor control gives us the preliminary okay, those signs and whatnot will go up. Bars will be informed of the do's and don'ts, although most of them already have the information, and we'll go from there. I would say sometime around Labor Day weekend, more likely after than before, but that's the target right now. Again, it all depends on the Department of Liquor Control. A few weeks ago, again, you heard about the infrastructure plan that my administration has put together through the efforts of Mr. Martin here. We're having a public meeting on the 19th at the Our Guest Inn at 6 p.m. The public is welcome to comment. We just asked for an RSVP. You can RSVP to my mother, area 419-341-3927. Again, 419-341-3927. Her name is Sharon, not Mom, but she will answer that as well. Or email snipshare@cross.net, SNIPSHAR @cross.net. For that, we will also be working with, or have been working with the school system to use the Performing Arts Center for additional public meetings that will obviously be able to accommodate a lot more people. The meeting on the 19th is although again the public is invited, several months ago when I started to consider this position, I created a think tank group. It's about 200 area citizens that focused on the top 5 issues facing the city of Port Clinton as they saw it. The primary focus of the presentation is for those individuals because they do have some background knowledge of the subject. But again, it is open space limited to the general public. The Greater Port Clinton Area Arts Council had a fundraiser this past Saturday evening. Mr. Martin and I and our guests were able to attend that out at Skipper Bud's. It was Boats, Brushes, and Brew, or Boats, Brew, and Brushes. Again, that's a great organization and a community that's trying to bring art and light and energy into the Greater Port Clinton area. Along with that, the Greater Port Clinton Area Arts Council had the photo contest going on. The winners have been selected. We're waiting on the prints that were selected as the top to be enlarged, and I hope at a future date we'll have a presentation here in council chambers to recognize those winners and get those up in the mayor's office and any other places around City Hall. It seems strange, although I did see winter coats in Walmart the other day to talk about this, but back to school. The next time we come together as a group, school will have been in session for 2 full days. So just a reminder to watch for the little ones getting on the buses and walking to and from school. And of course, I want to wish the Redskins all the best of luck in the fall sports, especially when they beat Oak Harbor in anything. It's wonderful. Recently in July, we had several acts of heroism in our community, and you may have followed these in the newspaper. At the next council meeting, we'll be recognizing 2 separate groups for their actions to save lives on Lake Erie, just offshore. One of those will be here in person, we hope, and the other will be over the telephone. I'll be presenting the key to the city to 2 groups, and we'll have more details on that. And then finally, I'm asking for your assistance, Madam President, in something. Let me back up even farther. We've all seen television shows or movies where the mayor marries someone or a couple. I always thought that was just Hollywood makeup, but no. The mayor has the ability to marry people. And although I've not had that privilege yet, there have been 2 couples that have approached the city. And I've said yes, and we're working on those. But the way the process that happens, it costs $100 for the couple to get married by the mayor. That $100 gets put in a fund, and then at the end of the term in office, the mayor gets that money. I would ask for council's permission to have a little leeway in that, and here's what I'm proposing. I would ask that you consider allowing the mayor to announce a charitable organization that those funds could go to prior to the end of term in office. And an example that Mr. Martin and I were talking about, let's imagine that the city of Port Clinton wanted to set a world record for the most couples married on New Year's Eve below a giant fish at $100 a pop, with those funds going to the 4th of July fireworks. Or if on Valentine's Day, we wanted to have a Renew Your Vows ceremony somewhere here in town, with those proceeds going to buy bulletproof vests for our police officers. Or a billion other things that we can think of in the community. I'm just asking if, yeah, he got the bulletproof vest on Valentine's Day, yeah. So I'm just asking for your consideration to work with Mr. Wilbur and coming up with something that would give the mayor permission to do that in the future. So with that concludes my report this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a reminder that the month-end reports for the period ending July 31st, 2019 were sent out a couple weeks ago now. If there are any questions about those, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. That is it.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Madam Chairman, the tourists are still coming. We have bed tax to date, and that includes today, of $78,273.50. Thank you.
Thank you. The law director's report.
Nothing right now, Madam.
Thank you. The safety service director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple of things quickly. Brush pickup started yesterday, be continuing through this week from the service department. Just an update, a quick update with regard to the wetlands. I know everybody's asked. We had a conference call yesterday and a status update today. They're still concerned about the amount of water that are in the wetlands and the water levels. We likely will not see any activity there as far as any excavation until after Labor Day or later at this point. So we're just waiting for the contractor, but the contractor still has concerns with the Corps about the amount of water and the equipment capabilities of doing the excavation that needs to take place. And last, the mayor had mentioned, in conjunction with Rock the Light, a group of like-minded individuals like ourselves who own Jeeps that approached the city about having a Jeep rally similar to the big Jeep festival that took place this past weekend in Toledo and others that happened each weekend throughout the country. So working with Main Street, Port Clinton, and the city, there's going to be an event called Jeep the Light. The registration will include an armband for an individual to get into the actual Rock the Light. They're going to announce this week, and they will start to promote that. It will all take place at Waterworks Park. Basically, be a Jeep show in attendance there. But it'd be kind of a neat event. They're already talking about next year. They did some social media advertising. They had over 3,000 inquiries in less than a week, and with 300 people indicating they were intending to attend. So I know that the Jeep show last week in Toledo, they didn't start to, their registrations increased by 400 in the last 3 days prior to the event with the weather. So everybody's excited about that. We'll see some neat things happening with them in town during that time. There'll be a scavenger hunt, some activities for that group. So it'll be a neat first event in conjunction with Rock the Light. And I have nothing else, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. The police chief's report.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Fire chief is attending training. We'll move to correspondence. Council, you did receive, as the auditor mentioned, the auditor's month-end reports for July 2019. Do I have a motion to approve the correspondence as stated?
Madam President, I move to accept the correspondence as stated.
Motion to a second from Mr. Friedman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Correspondence stands approved as stated. We'll move to the readings of ordinances and resolutions. This evening we have no third and no second readings. We'll move to the new readings, and that is ordinance 21-19. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 21-19?
Ordinance 21-19, ordinance authorizing the draft of the Director of Safety and Service to to issue requests for qualifications, negotiate and enter into an agreement for construction management services for the Jefferson Street ODOT Small Cities Grant Project and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action on ordinance 21-19? Seeing none, ordinance 21-19 will be moved to its second reading at our next regular council meeting on August 27th, 2019. We'll now move to business from the floor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mrs. Sardi. Thank you, Mrs.
Usually start with me. Assuming.
You should have started with Katie.
Yeah, tell me off. I just want to thank everyone that helped with the senior picnic. The guys that work for the city that volunteered to cook the hot dogs and everything else, anyone else that volunteered to help. It's a great turnout for around 150 people. Nice day. Last year was smoldering, but Mr. Colson said tonight this was either the 13th or 14th year that we've done it. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, so it's a very nice event if you can attend. And then, as the mayor mentioned, school starting, sports season starting. Mr. Colston also advised that, or Mr. Martin, I think, that they're going to be putting the senior banners for athletics downtown. So we'll be taking care of that. I know there's a, Mrs. Bickley had mentioned there's a football scrimmage this Friday. 7th grade starts, see all the kids playing starting at 4:30, and then it goes up. Soccer's had scrimmages, volleyball, tennis, I know cross country will be starting. Golf has actually already started their season, so you get on the school website, it's got the dates and all that. You can make it to an event. It's good to see the kids. Yeah, it's a lot.
Thank you. Mr. Friedman.
Nothing for me tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Hickman.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to give a public shout out to the Port Clinton Middle School football team and cheerleaders for taking time out of their Friday. It's been about a week and a half ago. I was on vacation and one of the moms reached out to me and asked if they could go up and clean up the Ottawa County Compassionate Friends Children's Memorial. And they spent about an hour up there just pulling weeds and dusting off bricks and pavers, and they even put some flowers at the base of the sign, which I thought was pretty darn cool. And the mom told me that they spent some time reflecting on what that memorial meant to the parents and grandparents in our community. And I called Sleepy's and had pizza delivered. So I just really want to thank them for taking time. What a great group of kids we have in our community who actually took an hour out of their day to come up and just spend some time doing something that they didn't have to do. And I thought that was pretty special, so I wanted to give them a little shout out at our council meeting tonight. So if you happen to see those kids, high five them because they're pretty awesome. And that's it, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. Emergency Services will be meeting a week from today, August 20th at 5:30. Also, I like the idea of the money from your mayoral duties as a reverend, as a, the minister involved with officiating at the weddings. There are so many good charities that go on around here, many good things that go on that you shouldn't have trouble finding something each and every time. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Gilman.
Thank you, Madam President. The next Laws, Rules, and Ordinances meeting is August 27th at 6:30 p.m. And to go on the coattails of Mrs. Sardi, the sports passes for all those events that cover middle school and high school go on sale the 19th. And if you go on the school's website, they have information. But it's a great pass. Anybody in the community can buy them. They do have a senior skins discount as well. So you can attend all the events for one low fee. That's it, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hill.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Velo.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Mayor, when was the $100 fee established?
Mayor Tester.
It was in the ordinances somewhere?
I'm going to make that assumption.
Okay. So we can revisit even the amount. Right, so that sounds cool. For the EMS request for services from Catawba Township before council receives, or in tandem, when council receives an ordinance to consider that, could we also get a briefing from the police chief and all of his team on the success they've seen so far and any challenges since the service got up and running? Thank you. That's all, Madam President. Thanks.
Seeing no further business,
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
I will